What's going on, people? John with Refinery Fragrances back for another review. Today we are taking a look at Side Effect by INITIO Parfums. Before we hop into the review, if you guys are interested in fragrance-related content like this and you are not already subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell icon for notifications for any future uploads. Okay, so Side Effect was released in 2016 by the company INITIO Parfums. It is classified as an oriental fragrance. I could not find a perfumer for this fragrance. If you guys know, please do fill me in down in the comments because I want to give credit where credit is due. For the notes in this fragrance, we have cinnamon bark, rum, tobacco, sandalwood, and hedione. For price point with Side Effect, you can expect to pay $305 retail for a 90 ml bottle. As far as I know, that this is not included on any discount websites. Your best bet to find it cheaper than retail is to go into one of the Facebook groups and try to find somebody selling this, but this is very popular right now, and it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people are letting it go. In terms of the retail price point, I feel like that's a fair evaluation when it comes to performance and uniqueness of smell and the packaging. I think $305 is about on par for other fragrances similar to this. Let's take a quick look at the presentation for Side Effect. When it comes to the performance aspect of Side Effect, it performs really well on my skin. I'm not gonna say it's a beast. I was frankly hoping that it would be a beast. If you guys have been watching and keeping up with the channel, you know that I love really intense and loud fragrances. This performs well, but it's not gonna be one that is going to fill up a room, at least on my skin. I have seen a lot of people online talk about how this thing is a monster. It's a projection beast. It's, you know, lasts 18 hours on their skin. I just simply don't have that experience with it. I would say for the first 2 hours, it projects very well at an arm's length. Beyond that, it does sit a little bit closer to the skin, and I would say hovers a little bit close to you for about 8 hours, at least in my experience, and then it becomes a skin scent. There's great sillage with this fragrance though. So for those of you that don't know, sillage is kind of when you walk past somebody or somebody's walking behind you, the trail that it leaves. That is really great with this fragrance. It does leave a nice scent trail, so I can't really knock it for performance. It's just not an animal, and that's okay. Season and occasion for Side Effect, I would say reserve this for the cooler months. This is a very expensive fragrance. If you have that kind of cash, feel free to make it your signature scent, but because of the scent profile, I say it's best reserved for the cooler months. I think maybe in the warmer weather, it could get a little bit cloying and choke you out. So for me, fall and winter is prime time for Side Effect. If you guys saw my top 5 fragrances for fall, this was #1 on the list. It's just perfect for that time of year. And then in terms of occasion, I think that it's pretty versatile when it comes to occasions. You can dress this up, absolutely, but I also find it to be decently casual. So I do think that a lot of occasions will work for this. I think that the performance is a little bit too good for the office and doesn't quite fit the professional setting, but I would say for a lot of occasions outside of the office, this will work great. Like I just said, this was #1 on my list for fall, and I absolutely love this fragrance. It is #1 on that list for a reason. Ever since I first smelled it, I was over in Europe and I gave a friend of mine a sample of it and smelled it on him and just knew that I needed to have this bottle at some point in my collection, and I'm so grateful to have it now. It's just a wonderful tobacco fragrance. If you are into tobacco fragrances, boozy fragrances, this is right up your alley and you gotta check it out. One thing I will say is that this is very, very well blended. So at times I don't feel like, oh, it's explicitly a tobacco or a boozy fragrance. It uses those accords to make one giant feeling almost. Like it is just a really warm, inviting fragrance that isn't very offensive. I don't think it's overly challenging. I think it's something that a lot of people will love. I get compliments on it. One night my wife wore this out on a date. This is not something that she would typically wear, and she did one spray, which I know, come on. It's like one spray is just, I personally go about 4 or 5 sprays with this fragrance, and it's perfect. The projection is great. I've never choked myself out or given myself a headache, and I've only received compliments with it at about the 4 or 5 spray mark. My wife was wearing one spray that evening that she wore it, and we were outside, and the wind kept coming by, and I was getting whiffs of it, and it's just an amazing, intoxicating fragrance, perfectly unisex in my opinion. You know, you get the cinnamon for sure, you get this really smooth tobacco accord, and then the booziness is really, adds some sweetness. The rum, it's boozy, it's sweet, and overall is just a really incredibly refined and unique fragrance. Also, the sandalwood comes into play. That's actually one of my favorite parts of the fragrance is, you know, you have these dense notes of, you know, rum and cinnamon and saffron, and the sandalwood kind of cuts through in a way that adds a lot of dimension to the perfume, and I am just, yeah, I've fallen in love with this fragrance. That is all for me, guys, on Side Effect by INITIO Parfums. I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know down in the comments, have you tried this fragrance? And I want to know some of your favorites from the INITIO brand. I know for me, personally, this is one of the best brands on the market, in my opinion. Everything that they do is just A1 quality. So I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know down in the comments section. And as always, if you guys are not subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications for future uploads, and we'll see you soon.